Hello everyone, Pallytum here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we are going to be playing as Tassadar. Why are we playing as Tassadar? Because I think we could come up with some cool stuff to do versus a butcher. Oh, are you going to hear it? No, not quite. Not quite. No, one was alright. The Thundercats are on the move outside. So if it sounds like my house is about to be split in half by lightning, that's because it probably is. But we're going to be playing Tassadar today. Hopefully we go up against a butcher because I want to try some stuff. But even if we don't, we're going to have some fun anyway.
From order comes justice.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the new map. A Battlefield of Eternity. That's what it is. It took me a minute, but we got it. Alright, let's look at the teams. Do we have a Butcher, Diablo, Tassadar, Johanna, Sylvanas, Zeratul on our team? Then Sonya, Vala, Gazlo, Aswadin, Tassadar. Damn it. Damn it, I wanted to try cool stuff. Because I think Tassadar could counter him relatively well. Anyway. There has been a change to Conjurer's Pursuit, so let's go ahead and pick that up, and we can look at the changes. Collecting regeneration globes permanently increases your mana regeneration by 0.1 per second. How was that different from before? I don't remember the ratios before at all. I'm not that good at this game. But essentially before, you had to get 3 regeneration globes before a stack mattered, basically. You had to get 3 mini stacks before you got a big stack, and now they basically just said, well, if you pick up a regen globe, you're going to benefit from that, because overcomplicating that genuinely didn't make any sense at all, and I'm glad they finally noticed. So what are we going to do today? We are the only support on our team, so we should probably build a little supporty. Do we want to build so supporty that we pick up Force Wall? I don't know. Even though the Hypercar build is my favorite build for Tassadar, it does not fit every situation, for sure. For sure. Looks like my team, at least up here in the top lane, being a little aggressive, trying to go in for these little side ganks. I don't know how effective those are going to be. Let's go ahead and use my Oracle, try to grant some vision. Unfortunately, I was stunned before we could really make anything happen there. And we do pick up First Blood in the top lane. A shield on our Diablo player is going to keep him alive a little bit longer. So who is Tassadar and what does he do? Tassadar is classified as a support character, a ranged support character, because if you don't know already, the classification for that simply comes from, is your auto attack melee or is it ranged? So he's a ranged support. His Q ability is Plasma Shield. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a shield on a target. His W ability is Psionic Storm. This is the AoE you've been seeing me use on the ground. It just sits there in this circle and it deals some damage. Nothing too special. Actually, it is pretty cool. But, I mean, as far as, like, complicated mechanics, it's, you know, it's no big deal. Our E ability is Dimensional Shift. Dimensional Shift will allow us to fade into another dimension, which means we do not take damage, we cannot receive healing, we cannot be crowd controlled. We basically scoot along in this parallel world for a little while and then reappear back in this dimension. You can talent to be very, very survival heavy, sustain heavy with Dimensional Shift. I do not believe we're going to be doing that today, though. I don't think so. So let's take a look at the map. I'm going to build according to the map. I'm not going in here with like a predetermined build or anything. Sonya coming from me. We would have had to have used our Dimensional Shift to get out of that Spear of the Ancients, but it looks like we're going to be okay. Because this map, it has so many little nooks and crannies, I am going to go for reduced cooldown on Oracle, so we can do this thing. We can show off the world around us a little bit more often. Vala potentially in a bad spot here. Will we be able to take her down? Unfortunately, I don't have any mana to do much of anything right now, so we're just going to shield and scoot on out of here. Open sesame. Alright. The enemy team did pick up that Archangel, is that what they're called officially? And that is going to be going up to the top lane. In the top lane that whole time, they did have Asmodan split pushing, I believe, or for a majority of that anyway. We do have a Sylvanas on our team, though, so if she did build for wave clear, she is going to be pretty effective at pushing back any of Asmodan's aggressive pushes. The friendly team going really deep here, however. Let's go ahead and Oracle. just so they all know what's up. Oracle is our trait. Basically, it just it'll reveal the area around us, and this includes stealth units as well. Really, really good for just having a good idea of what's going on around you. And with that reduced cooldown, we could show all these little nooks and crannies very, very often. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to bail. We are not going to lose our tier 1 defenses, so that's good. And it looks like we may actually get a kill on Sonya here as well, as Zeratul goes in with Johanna by his side. Very, very scary combo. If you can protect Zeratul, he can do a ton of sustained damage. He looks like he may be going for the hybrid Major Tool build, picking up Regen Master, which I don't fully understand on this map because there's not a ton of Regen orbs. Sylvanas wants to take over this mercenary camp. We'll come in with a shield for her and do... Thanks. Thank you. I really wanted to tank this. How'd you know? I guess it was an accident, so that's totally fine. We are going to take this down pretty quick. That is going to give us another Regen Orb. Regen Globes are one of those things that I'm really good at when I'm not recording and terrible when I am. So our Conjurer's Pursuit probably isn't going to be stacked too awfully high. At this level range, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go for Mule. And we're going to just heal up our tower. This map is totally focused on siege and siege damage. I would say more so than the other maps, because even after you get the Archangel in the middle, that Archangel will push your weakest lane. So you kind of want to keep your lanes, or push your strongest lane, your most fortified lane. So the idea is that gradually you'll just start to lose everything rather than being pressured out of just one lane, if that makes sense. So the Mule just helps us stay a little healthier. Does it aid in our combat prowess? No, absolutely not, as 2 members of the friendly team do die down in the bottom lane. But what it does aid in is the simple fact that this is now fully healed almost, and we can rely on that structure to still be there when we need it. Moving down to the middle now, as we do have the next phase about to start. The enemy team is 1 full level ahead of us, so they will be hitting 10 very soon, actually, which is a problem. A very, very big problem. Let's go ahead and just dismount this guy, get a little vision. They are killing ours, and we are not doing anything about it. So we have to contest. Here we go. Johanna going in with that blind is going to start to disrupt the enemy team. Let's throw out the shield on Zeratul. Hopefully start to make something happen here. It looks like we may have caught the enemy Vala. She's going to be scooting towards me, but that's not going to save her. This is fine. Let's just give it some more ammunition. And with that, it looks like we are going to take down the enemy team. I'm just going to go ahead, shield, and kind of peace out of here. The enemy Tassadar did just use his dimensional shift, but it looks like we at least have an advantage for the time being. We have to focus this down, and we have to do it now. Unfortunately, I have no resources, so I have to head back and Sippy Cup. Hopefully I won't be gone too long. Is the Sippy Cup even here? Yes, it is. Unfortunately, the enemy team starting to fight back against our aggressions, and we also have to deal with this guy up in the top lane. This is the promoted General of Hell from Azmodan. He's going to be doing a ton of harm to our minion line, but it looks like the enemy team has come back and they are starting to push us down. I guess I'm just going to stand here and try to deter Azmodan. Azmodan can do a ton of single target damage with that death laser. I also think Azmodan is going to be great on this map simply because it's a small map and he should be able to stack his minion damage up on his Q just fine. We are pushing back the enemy team again, although they do have ultimates, and we don't seem to be aware of that as a team because we're still pushing in. I'm just trying to kite Sonya here. Can we make anything happen? We did just hit level 10. I think I am going to go for Archon. I think I'm definitely going to go for Archon. Shield for our Diablo player here, and we just want to mule up in the top lane to make sure that stays fortified. Vala trying to chase after me. We are going to dimensional shift out of the Hungering Arrow, and she is going to be taken down by the ultimate of Diablo and the damage of Zeratul. Now, we need assistance up in the top lane. The hero Mule. Is it going to be a hero? Is it going to keep this alive? Not if we don't deal some damage to it very soon. These super beings, these archangels, these archdemons are glass cannons. They will do a ton of damage to a building if we don't contest them, but it does look like we are just going to save that structure by the skin of our teeth. Now, down in the bottom lane, the same cannot be said about that. The enemy team actually choosing to split push there rather than reinforce their objective, and because of that, they did get a totally free keep, or forts are tier 1. They did a totally free fort down in the bottom lane. The friendly team does pick up a mercenary up in the top. Those are the new siege giants. There are 3 guys that throw javelins. What's up? What's up? The mule's ready again, so we're going to be once again reinforcing the top lane as we push down here with Johanna. Hopefully she gets that regen orb for us. Just now getting up to 10. That's really, really bad. Really, this map isn't going to be great for regen orbs, as I already said, because you're going to be doing a lot outside of the minion wave. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. 37 seconds left on our Archon cooldown. Let's go ahead and shield our Sylvanas as she is getting low. Unfortunately, we do not have a healer, but lucky for us, the enemy team does not have one as well. Trying to position aggressively here because I thought the team was going to go in with me. And they immediately all backed off. You know, that happens sometimes. That happens sometimes. The mule did fix this up pretty nicely. I haven't actually taken the time to look at these structures yet. They're actually pretty cool. Are the keeps different? They are. Look at that. They're a little bit bigger. The base of them, I guess. It's cool. Huh. Alright, we do have the Immortals. That's what they're called, the Immortals. It says so right on the screen. They are going to be respawning in just a few moments. Let's go ahead and try to head up here, reinforcing this with the mule yet again as the enemy team is starting to push into this. Now, the enemy team, they do have Asmodan, they do have Gazlo. Any character that's good at siege damage is going to be really good at this map. So, you know, we have to do our best to combat them, but they're going to be doing their best to just push our structures down. Diablo completely body blocked here. There he goes, finally breaking through. I did give him a shield, and that was all I could really do. Gonna be making our way down here. I want to take I want to take Shrink Ray. This will kind of cut down on the damage that they can deal. We can like really mitigate what Vala and Sonya can do, and it's also, you know, a little bit of a form of crowd control. We can hit the Shrink Ray on someone. Let's use it on Sonya here. And all of a sudden, she's significantly slower, having to use her ult there to get away. We do have Archon in just a moment. Going to go ahead and shield our Johanna. Archon coming out for me now. Are we going to be able to take down the enemy team's Tassadar? Yes, we are. Shield on our Diablo, trying to keep him alive. But unfortunately, Johanna was pushing forward and did not have much assistance while doing so. Shielding Johanna yet again, as she does not know when to back up at all, and she may actually die from that Vala player. Once again, we are being forced back at a pretty... I mean, it's not the best time. Not the best time at all. All of our structures seem to be okay, but we can send the mule out up top again to give that more ammunition. And as our team once again loses this objective, we are going to be on the defense, which means that the enemy team is going to be split pushing yet again, which makes this really, 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 really difficult to deal with. Assuming they actually get this. With the Gazlo turrets down, they absolutely are going to. Let's go ahead, use the Oracle, give her some vision, give her some knowledge of what's going on around her. We do have Shrink Ray again, going to use it on Sonya one more time. Will our Sylvanas be able to make anything happen with it? A shield once again going out on Johanna, but she is going to be forced out. Sylvanas going so deep. Why? Why? Here's the Oracle again, give her a little bit more context, and we are going to be forced out. Diablo doing the right thing, already up top, ready to defend against that Immortal. Why are they called Immortals if they die on a regular basis, though? I mean, literally one of them dies when they're fighting. That's the opposite of Immortal. They died. Like, when you're Immortal, you have one job, and both of these guys die on a regular basis. Because he had that blue shield, he was sitting in a ranged state, which means he's going to be doing a little bit more damage. He's going to survive a bit longer because that shield is actually very bulky. Once that shield goes away, the Immortals drop to the ground and they start meleeing stuff down. Let's go ahead and reinforce this with a shield and a mule. Make sure that stays alive. Oh, good stun is actually going to catch a couple members of the enemy team, but we were kind of out of position to capitalize on that. The Void Prison is going to change that, though. We are going to get Second Strike. It's going to allow us to cast our Psionic Storm twice. Let's go ahead and Oracle. So we see the enemy Gazlo going up top. That is the Dimensional Shift of the enemy Tassadar there. It looks like we are pushing in here very aggressively. Here we go. Just throwing out 2 storms. We're throwing out 2 to just get a little bit more sustained damage out. We did not pick up a damage talent at level 7, so we are really lacking on damage right now. So this is just another way to allow us to get a little bit more out of our W. It's not a ton, but basically you get a free cast, so it's actually pretty mana efficient as well. And with that, we do actually get ahead on XP and take down a fort of the enemy team. Asmodan has something to say about that. He is pushing the bottom lane very aggressively. The mule coming down from me is going to start to repair this, but the amount of damage he can do is way more than what a mule can repair. You can see him actually trying to kill these mules over and over. That's the second dunk he has done on top of one. So let's come in here. We'll spread the Psionic Storms and just start to deal some siege damage to these guys. Try to clear them out. Immortals once again spawning very soon. Zeratul has spotted the enemy team up in the top lane, trying to take over that mercenary camp. He is going to confront them. I don't think that was the best idea, though, as Sonya wasn't paying attention at all, actually. You were totally fine. He now has been seen. The enemy team has taken the camp. We have Archon in just a few moments. 15 seconds left on the mule. We need to make sure we put another one down right away. And now our Sylvanas going in deep on the enemy Tassadar. Tassadar, of course, is going to phase shift out of there with his dimensional shift. I did once again use the Shrink Ray on top of the enemy Sonya. A great stun coming out from our Johanna is going to allow us to start to turn this around. Another dimensional shift coming out from Tassadar, likely because he's going for the race car build, not the hypercar build. And we're okay. We hold on just a little bit longer. Going to reinforce the bottom there. Johanna coming in to tank this. Sylvanas and Diablo coming down as well. Two members of the enemy team are dead, so we do have a pretty distinct advantage here. Unfortunately, ouch. Ooh, unfortunately, I did not go for any healing talents, so we are in a bit of a predicament here. These guys fighting instead of doing the objective. I don't understand. Unfortunately, because they weren't near me, I can't shield them, and I had to go. Sonya is going to take down our Diablo. We need to stay together more. Should have been focusing on the objective there. Hi, Gazlo. Maybe we should just mess with Gazlo. Like, if Gazlo's going to be, you know, a large amount of their damage. If we could take out his turrets, that wouldn't be that bad. The friendly team is working on this, so I'm coming down to help. Johanna is up there. I think we're a little bit ahead on this, maybe. Sonya once again out of position. We are going to hit her with the Shrink Ray. She is forced to use her ultimate to get out of here. We are going to shield our Johanna as she is pushing in deep into the enemy team right now. Vala being crowd controlled by our friendly Diablo player. Is it going to be enough to take them down? Why, yes, it is. How are our structures doing? I know this is a bit of an awkward time to look at that. Let's get rid of that. Structures are not going to be doing too well down in the bottom lane, so we're going to reinforce and try to focus on just killing this Archangel, and then we're going to be returning back. Whoa, don't die. Dimensional shift saved me there. Back to our base. There we go. Perfect. We need assistance here, assistance here. The mule doing everything it can to keep Asmodan out of the base, but of course it's not going to be enough because he's the general of hell. That's what he does. He pushes down walls. It's in his job description, I think. Sylvanas and Diablo are just going to body block this Asmodan. I mean, it's good to split push on Asmodan, but you should not be sacrificing yourself over and over and over like this. It's really just not worth it. We do have another mule in 20 seconds. We are going to, once again, reinforce that bottom temple, whatever, keep fort, tier 2 structure. We are going to be picking up Twilight Archon, increases our basic attack damage, basic attack range, and our shield that we generate when we pop into Archon. And now we are split pushing to counter, well, to basically try to utilize the fact that the enemy team is going to be focused on the objective. They were just up top, and it looks like we are going to get a free keep out of this. Zeratul being very ballsy. We are going to Shrink Ray the Sonya yet again and just use our dimensional shift to reposition. Now the Archon coming out, we are just going to poke away at whatever we can poke at. Shield coming out. We do need to stay alive. The friendly team starting to actually leave me here. Dimensional shift coming out from the enemy Tassadar is going to keep him alive. I'm not trying to do too much. Not trying to do too much. We need a mule down here. And we should just back up. No reason to stay in this. If Vala overextends, we can kill Vala. Here's a shield on our Diablo player. And just like that, what did I say? We can kill Vala. Now the spin to win coming out on top of me. We are just going to use our dimensional shift yet again. Now let's go ahead and shield our Diablo player. I think he's going to need it the most. Our Sylvanas actually jumping into the enemy team there. Very lucky that they didn't capitalize on that. And it looks like we are all going to get out of here. Don't recall in the lane, we're being chased. At least make an attempt to hide somewhere. We should be fine with just a sippy cup. So there we go. The Immortals once again spawning in the next 25 seconds. That objective happens so often. So we need to make sure everyone's healthy. Everyone really should go back and get health. And it looks like they are doing just that. As our mercenary camp starts to push the top lane, the enemy team taking over a mercenary camp that's going to be pushing the bottom lane. We know Asmodean is here. Let's go ahead and use our Oracle. I don't feel like I've been using that enough. It has a 15-second cooldown. I mean, I should be popping that off like crazy. We should be using that constantly. And again, I picked it on this map because, as you can see, there's so many little nooks and crannies like this one that obstructs vision. All the time your vision can be obstructed by, you know, this and this little rock right here and this little rock right here. It actually is really good for characters that like to hide. So we want to just try to counteract that a little bit. Shield our Zeratul, as I knew he was not going to move out in time. Our Sylvanas choosing to push top right now. I don't really agree with that decision. We kind of need everyone here. Johanna diving into the enemy team right now. I definitely don't agree with that decision. But that Void Prison is going to allow us to focus down Sonya instantaneously. I am going to use Shrink Ray on Gazlo just to ensure that he dies. He's a very, very slow character in the first place. So that Shrink Ray is going to accentuate that fact. Make him even slower. We are going to put a mule down here. I don't believe any of our buildings have actually been sieged. We have killed 2 members of the enemy team and pushed back the remainder. They, however, are going to kill our Sylvanas if she's not careful. Fortunately, I can't look at that right now as I'm getting stunned by everything. Dude, I took like my entire health bar in damage there. Johanna, never fearing, is jumping into the enemy team now. That Archon coming out, that's a ton of damage. Johanna is not afraid. Johanna is not afraid. She probably should be a little afraid. Oh, God. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Let's leave. Let's leave. Somehow we all stay alive. Let's back it up. Let's back it up. We do have the objective pushing top. All of our structures are fully healed that still remain. And we do have these amazing looking catapults pushing down the bottom lane. Just look at those things. Those are awesome. Those are awesome. Gonna let the team know I'm on the way. Sonya jumping in on Diablo is going to land a Spear of the Ancients on our Zeratul player. Zeratul is probably going to get away. Sonya already used all of her gap closers, and as you see there, Zeratul great at moving over objects. We're going to shield our Dibbles, and yeah, that should be a dead Sonya. Beautiful. I wish I could heal our team up. I have not done a lot of healing at all. I mean, with Tassadar, obviously you focus on shields, right? So those shields are really good at mitigating damage that you can see coming. So, for instance, we know someone's going to hit Dibbles here, so we can go ahead and give him a shield. But as far as everything else, it's kind of hard to use. We are going to shield ourselves, try to focus down this stuff right here. We are tanking a tower as well. Sylvanas coming in to neutralize that tower, I thought. I still took a lot of damage. The enemy team's starting to respawn. We should just back. We don't want to throw the game right here. I took a lot more damage than I was expecting there. Some definitely noob level mistakes. We have almost broken through the shields of the enemy team. Now would not be a bad time to maybe get these camps, but our friendly team is splitting, which is a little scary at this point in the game, because we know the enemy team is going to be, they're going to be wanting to do these same 2 mercenary camps because they're the only thing up on the map right now. So I'm going to go, I should join Sylvanas because they already took that over. I'm going to join Sylvanas. She has not taken much damage at all. The shield will ensure that she takes none. And once again, our Johanna just jumping right in to a team fight down here in the bottom lane. We're not even there. We're not even there. I'm pinging that I'm on my way a lot. Dibbles is down here, AFK, trying to... Okay, he was trying to recall. Excuse me, I take it back. All right. All right, coming in. Sylvanas approaching from the top as well. Here we go. Archon coming out. Shrink Ray on the enemy Sonya, and we are going to focus her down. The enemy Asmodean actually picking up Bolt of the Storm there to jump over that wall. Great form of survivability for Asmodean. And we're going to come in here and try to focus him down as well. Try to focus really anyone that we can get in range of us. Trying to save our Johanna here. Actually, she should be just fine. I need to focus on saving myself. And once again, we pushed in, but we don't really have the sustain to do much else. Dibbles is going to get out of there. We took down 2 members of the enemy team. Zeratul missing his singularity spikes. He is doing the hybrid hipster melee Zeratul build. Melee Mage Tool build, rather. And just like that, several members of the enemy team are dead. And we may be able to make something happen here. We may be able to win the game. I hope we can. Who's taking damage? Oh, it was Zeratul. I shielded the wrong person. But it doesn't matter. That is going to win the game. And people are saying that Tassadar isn't a support, where I did a ton of supporting that game with the mule, keeping structures alive. Now, I will admit that my shields were subpar, but I granted a ton of vision all over the place with our Oracle when I remembered to use it. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that you should use this build. This was incredibly situational. Like I said, I built this based around what I was seeing going on around the map. But, again, just in case you're curious, I went with Conjurer's Pursuit, level 1 for mana return, Mental Acuity for the reduced cooldown of the Oracle, so we could see more around all of those little nooks and crannies. The Mule, because our structures on 2-lane maps are incredibly more important than on 3-lane maps. Archon, because I wanted to deal more damage. I didn't think Force Wall was going to be too good on this map. It could have been, for sure, but I was definitely feeling Archon. I wanted to put out a little bit more DPS. Shrink Ray to nullify their initiators. Their Sonyas, their Valas, who'd be hopping in, trying to deal a lot of damage. We wanted to mitigate as much damage from them as possible. Second Strike, which just allowed me to use my W twice. Again, this is a 2-lane map, so being able to put down 2 Psionic Storms on top of a minion wave is a great way to push lanes on a map where, again, structures are incredibly important. And it also allowed me to get more damage off in the middle of team fights. And then the Archon upgrade, because that's what you do when you pick Archon. Not a conventional build by any means, and you could argue its effectiveness, but I do think that I had a big part in that win, or at least I felt like it. You guys can decide for your own damn selves, but that's going to be it for me today. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button below, and I'll be back soon. Okay, bye.